Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are going to have a look at a bunch of Orc stuff that actually has nothing to do with Games Workshop at all. This is from Cromlech, and it's Orktoberfest, which, to be honest, is a great name. I'd say just as good, if not slightly better, than Orktober. Few people found Orktober, I say a few, quite a few people, a lot of people found Orktober to be somewhat disappointing when Games Workshop did it. There was a lot of vehicles, which was great, but not really anything in the way of infantry, and the whole thing, there was a certain level of hype that perhaps was maybe a little overstated. But, if you're hankering for more Orktober-style delivery, then, to be honest, Cromlech's got some really, really cool stuff. So I thought we'd have a look at it, because I've only just seen this, I've only just noticed it, and there's some really just quality things in here. So there is an absolute bunch of scenery, for a start. Like a bunch of different towers and stuff, which all look suitably immensely orky. I especially like the boss skull tower. That's got quite a nice look to it. There's also the Freak Tower, which I did zoom into a little bit because it looks mad and it looks so good. There's Silymyrus. I've only just noticed that, the demolition gob. What on earth? Right, let's have a quick look at Silymyrus. That's... yeah, riding a wrecking ball. Okay, so some of the things that properly caught my eye out of all this lot were, for a start, these nice alternative blobby boys, as one of my commenters called them, which I like that name. Excellent. I just really like the detail on all of the explosives. There's like a ridiculously impractical little missile there, a proper cartoon style dynamite. Like squid, look at it's got a little timer on it and everything on one of them, and what looks like some sort of, is that a mine or a grenade? The one that's being carried in the mouth. Either way, full on approve of these. They look ridiculous in the best possible way. A bit more, even more cartoony, I would argue, than the Games Workshop counterparts, but I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, because the explosive devices make everything about these so much better. One of the other things was the Orc Freak Tower, which I really, really like. I really like the way they've done this. It's very like Witch in the Swamps sort of feel to it, whilst being completely orky. The little lightning rod things on the top, the cage off to the side, it's like, at a glance, it looks like it shouldn't be there with the orc stuff. But then as soon as you look at it just a tiny bit closer, it's quite clearly incredibly orky, which is, I think, a really fun way to do it. That to me looks like a properly nice, unique bit of scenery there. I really like the look of it. There's also a few vehicles, and there's a couple that I really like, but there's one that I especially love. We'll start out with the jet fighter, which, to be honest, is pretty much just a scrapjet, but with even more scrap by the look of things. I do like the front of it, though. There is something to be said for, I don't know, the design of it is just, it looks really chunky. That's the only way to put it. It looks super chunky, but unlike a lot of, especially Imperium vehicles, it looks like it could still conceivably fly at least a little bit, which is something I actually really like about the Orc flyers as a whole. Not just this, but also the Games Workshop stuff too. They do actually look like they could fly. Now, how well they would fly, I don't know, but they look like they'd fly better than a giant box with two stubby wings sticking out of the back of it, which, pretty much anything would fly better than that. Just a ball of paper would most likely fly better than that. But yeah, I do like that, and there's a suitable number of guns strapped to the front of it, as you can see. The other thing was the Orc Mine Layer craft, which I love for how absolutely mental that is. I mean, I can't really 100% process what that actually is. It's clearly an aircraft, but there's a lot going on here. So you've got a couple of the jet engines, like engines on the right and the left at the top there. There's a nice little gunnery position at the very top of the aircraft with a proper cartoon style sight there as well, which I really like. You've got the the little turret sticking out the side. I don't know how it remains aloft, but I don't really care either, because it's got a giant orc face on the front, and that by itself is one of my favourite things that I've seen from just this bunch of stuff as a whole. It's properly mad, and to be honest, that's one of the things that I think, in some ways, I did like the vehicles that Games Workshop did for Orktober. I did like them. They look really good. They do look orky, but they look well designed, which is something that can be kind of held against them in a way, because I like the ramshackle look of a lot of orc stuff, and some of the Orktober vehicles, they just didn't look ramshackle. They looked like someone had sat down and gone, okay, so we're going to get extra power, we need to put this sort of tyre on it, and that to me doesn't seem 100% orky. I still love the design of them. This feels 100% orky, because it looks like a big box that someone has managed to make fly. They've stuck some scrap engines on, given it an orc's face, and I've gone, right, what are we using this for again? I really like that about it. It's just got a huge amount of personality, that has. Something else, which I absolutely adore, and I don't know what you'd use it as a proxy of, but in a way, I think you'd probably find a way, is the Orc Tiger Wagon. That is, I think, one of my favourite orky vehicles I've ever seen. Genuinely. I love that. I absolutely love it. It looks great. It's still, recognisably looted, but it's been definitely orcified. There's like extra turrets on it. I don't know. There's just something about this that really, really, it just reminds me so much of those like old looted wagons that you used to be able to take. I mean, I had a Lehman Russ version with my Orc army way back, and I loved taking it and making it still a Lehman Russ, but it was janky and it had holes in it, and there was extra armour in places where really you didn't need extra armour, and there were, bullet holes in areas where extra armour probably would have been a good idea. I remember taking the gun off the front of it, like taking it out of the turret, cutting a hole in the front of the hull, and putting the gun through there, so it almost had like a, what's the name for it? Like they kind of had like a tank hunter style to it. This is just reminding me of that process, and I don't know whether it's just the nostalgia of it, but it's making me really, really like this vehicle. It looks so good. It looks so cool, and it looks so orky. It's properly looted. Oh man, I like that a lot. That's one of those things that's dangerous, because I might end up just having one without needing it at all. This is one of those things that I would just like to own. That's it. That's all there is to it. Speaking of which, something else that you may never get to use, but I really like that they've included, is an Orc heavy metal stage. Now, of course, you could use this as scenery. Also, the band is Guns and Fungus, which I love. This I am going to get, and I am just going to have it sat behind me on a shelf somewhere, just because of how it looks. That's it. Nothing else. No other reason to buy it. It's never going to be used as scenery, probably. It'll just sit there looking quality. And on it, I will put these lads. I will put Guns and Fungus, the Orc heavy metal band, on there. It's so good. Oh Lord. So I love the Freddy Orc down the front there, and the Slash Orc with his top hat. I mean, they've even done the guitar right. That's the impressive thing for me. They could have cheaped out and just done whatever they like, but no, they've got the Les Paul shape there. Excellent work. Oh God, I really like what they've done here. I really do. As I've said in previous videos, I don't have any experience in the quality of Cromlech. I have been told, and there were comments on the videos where I mentioned them before, that generally speaking, their quality is pretty good, that the casting is decent, that the end product is pretty easy to work with. But I like how much they seem to, especially orcs, they seem to pick something, fully commit to it, and see it through. And as a result, you end up with these just really fun, nicely designed vehicles and infantry models that I would be honest, and I think, to be honest, I could see some people saying it's a bit busy, some of this stuff, that perhaps it's a little too cartoony for some, but for like, especially like kind of special, not special edition stuff, but releases like this where they've taken a theme and they've just thrown a bunch of new stuff out. I don't know, I think they've done a really good job with this stuff. It looks really fun, it looks really cool, it looks properly orky. Every single bit of it looks properly orky. I mean, the highlights for me are the Mine Layer craft and the Tiger Wagon. Yes, Silumarius is funny, and the Guns and Fungus heavy metal band are also pretty funny. But for me, the standout things here are the Tiger Wagon and the Mine Layer craft. They both just look so damn orky to me. Yeah, I'm liking their work. I'm liking their work, Cromlech. Decent stuff by the look of it. So yeah, that's like a secondary Orktober that's happened, but nothing to do with Games Workshop. But I thought I'd throw it out there anyway. Let me know what you think of all that lot in the comments down below. If you have any experience with Cromlech, if you've bought stuff from Cromlech, then by all means say in the comments what your experience has been in working with their products, what the finish is like, what the quality is like, how easy it is to work with. Let me know all of that stuff in the comments down below, so other people will know whether they want to, take a punt and try some of this. In the meantime, click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. As always, there is an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which I believe does stock some Cromlech stuff. I think they might do the tabletop stuff, thinking about it, like the Scenics. Doing something a bit different with that link from now on. So at the end of every month, we will take 10% of any income raised through that link, and we will donate it to charity. So I'll put a poll up, either Twitter or YouTube, probably both, and see where you guys want that money to go. So that's what we're doing with that link now. So it's a nice way to support the channel. It does still support the channel. You can just click it, buy something from Element, from 15 to 25% off retail usually. All the Games Workshop stuff is up there. Paints, bolt action, scenic stuff, X-Wing, all of that stuff. But yeah, now at the end of the month, 10% of whatever happens through that link will go to charity as well. So nice way to support the channel and do a little bit extra too, because why not? Why not do that? I'll leave it up to you. You can click it if you like. You don't have to. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.